Hi everybody, it's Carla and I'm back to show you what I'm working on currently, and this is all made with thrifted yarn except for this one here that I made out of yarn I bought at Dollar Tree a couple of years ago. So I will just kind of walk you through what I've made and explain how I'm doing these. These are all for myself because I've made a few for my daughter and granddaughter, but they kind of like to buy their own and they're very fashionista, so a homemade thing from mom, it's not all that, well received. So all these hats are made to fit my head because I'm the only model I have around here. So I'll just show you what I've made. And like I said, it's all from thrifted yarn. As a matter of fact, the other day I was getting low on yarn and I went to my thrift store and I found 2 bags. Each contained 3 skeins of yarn or more. Some had a couple of small novelty yarns in it, but 2 bags were $1.99 each and 2 were $1.59 each. So I really lucked out on these full skeins of yarn and I started getting busy again. And I do all of this crocheting in the evening whenever I am watching Netflix or YouTube videos. Currently, I've been watching all of the Blacklist. That's my favorite current show. And I do get that on Netflix. I've watched all of seasons 1 through 4. And then my son had given me and his dad a Google Play card last year, and we hadn't ever used it. And when he was over the other day, we went to the Google Play store online, and he purchased me 12 more episodes of season 5. So I'm not up current with it, and I don't have all the episodes yet, but that's what I do in the evening, and then I just crochet away, and I wanted to show you what I've been working on. And I don't use a pattern. I just start with a circle, and I just go round and round. I pick my stitch as I go. I make brims, or I don't make brims. I up and down with the stitches from single to half double to double crochet. I make a couple of shell stitches and just kind of use my own ideas. This is a variegated yarn. It's in shades of orange, gold, brown, and a burgundy. And it turned out really pretty, I think. Then I had a large skein of a hot pink color, and I made 2 different hats out of that because I like to use the whole skein up if possible, or as close to it as I can, and I actually got 2 hats out of that. This one started out with shells at the top, and then I think it was double crochet all the way down to the bottom. This is one of those slouchy hats like I showed in my other video, and just went round and round. And another hat was there out of the hot pink color. This off-white or fisherman crew color was enough to make a hat that started out with it was kind of big at the top, so I just kind of gathered it together as I went around to begin my, making the rest of the hat. And so it's got a nice puffy top to it. And then it just goes down and actually has a little roll-up brim there. And I had enough to make the scarf, and it's half double crochet and double crochet, and I just alternate those 2 stitches, every other row. Over here I made a brown and black. It's a more fitted, just kind of a beanie style hat. Again, started at the top with a double crochet, changed to single crochet, inserted a black stripe there, and finished off with the brown. And then I didn't have enough left of either color to make one solid color scarf, so I made it about half and half, black and brown, or maybe not quite half and half, but anyways, I could use up the whole yarn that way. And here's a real pretty brick red color slouchy hat, and again, just started with the center circle. And then I didn't have enough to make the entire hat that color, so I added a cream and finished it off that way. This was the yarn I was talking about that I got a couple years ago at Dollar Tree, and it's got a very pretty color to it, and it's very soft, and I'm not sure what the name or the maker of it was, but it's a different kind of yarn. All these are acrylic yarn, but this just had a very soft feel. It's got let's see, shades of light blue, silver, gray, turquoise, olive green, and beige. And it just worked up really, really nicely. Again, I made the top really big and then I pulled it together into folds all around the top before I made the rest of the beanie to fit my head that way. And then I had enough of the yarn left that I wanted to make a scarf, but I wanted to spice it up a little, and in one of those bags of Thrifted yarn was a novelty yarn that has a lot of texture, colors that were compatible with that same color yarn, and also had this hairy kind of feathery flow to it, and so I made a scarf to match out of that. It doesn't match exactly, but it's got the same color tones and hues to it, so I think it turned out very, very well. And then this last one, I got a bag a while back of just individual granny squares that apparently somebody had started making to make a granny square afghan, and either they didn't finish it or didn't want to, or something happened, but it ended up at the thrift store, and I brought them home. I washed them all, and I've just had them in a bag. But since I'm doing these hats, I thought I would try to incorporate a granny square into a hat. Now it's hard to turn a square into a circle, so I'm going to have to work on how to do that. But I did end up making this really nifty looking beanie, and it's got the granny square at the top, and then I finished it off with this pewter gray. And it's really cute. It's got the little brim in the front,